Hi everybody, it's Kris here from the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. Just to let you know, as always, this podcast is now part of the 90-Minute Football Network and proudly sponsored by www.pt-4-u.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Always Smiling Faces podcast on the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. Deka, how many weeks in a row are we going to say this? It doesn't get tiresome. We don't get bored of doing it. We'll never get bored of saying these words. Deka, take it away, mate.
We won, you know. Get in the lads, man. Get in the lads.
I can't get sick of it. I can't get sick of it. Deka, eight unbeaten now.
It is remarkable, like, isn't it? Really, I think when you think of where we were, I have to keep going back to that Watford game. How disappointed I was, and thought, like, oh god, well, I just got the Cambridge defeat. Then we went into Watford 3 days later, couldn't beat them, or we conceded late on. I think it was 87th minute, and you're just not sure if we're going to have enough or be able to do it. And then since then, it's just been night and day. Like, it's been unbelievable.
Besty's back. We haven't seen you for a couple of weeks, mate.
Was it not here before? I missed that. I missed that many. Yeah, I would. I've had no kids in hospital this week, so thankfully.
Have you been injured?
Yeah, that's good.
No, I've just not bothered taking them. I'm sick. But the poorly that are lying in the house knackered.
Have you seen the fuel prices these days? You're not driving up there.
I just shove them in the bin if they get too poorly.
But Besty's still unbeaten. Like I said, the 8 games in a row. What does this feel like? We're not used to this.
I still keep on. Every time they'll play a game, for like a few hours afterwards, you'll see people putting the form table on Twitter, and I never don't look. I'm always sitting there like second. Liverpool top 106. We are second. Drawn 1 out of the last 6. That's from 6 games is 16 points, isn't it? It's unreal. Like I look at if we'd have lost all 6 of those games, we'd be beneath Norwich, and instead we're like, well, I'm not one to safe. We're certainly not safe yet, but it just looks so much better. Like, even there's only Everton beneath with that have got games in hand. If they win them both, I think they'll go level on points with it. That's how kind of strong a position we're in at the minute.
It's one of those things, and just a handful of weeks ago, we were all petrified, Besty, that obviously we were the other teams around us were picking the results up and we weren't. Mm-hmm. We were getting draws, points here and there. And we thought, shit, we're the one dropping into the relegation. Well, we thought, honestly, we'd be dead bottom. The way that Norwich, like, we're winning a couple of games. Burnley, obviously, recently they've pulled out the bag.
We were briefly a couple of times, weren't we?
Norwich did. Dean Smith had a pretty good start. The one that they got an absolute pumping at Chelsea, at Stamford Bridge, and then they had a few reasonable results, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, maybe I think he did a good job with Villa. Smith. I think he's quite unlucky to get sacked. And yeah, their form hasn't been wonderful since the one well at the weekend, but yeah, with it's better again now, though. It's all right, I think. But yeah, Burnley have had a pretty good run. Watford haven't had the bounce that you'd expect the new manager. I know that Hodgson's kind of new in appointment only. He's not a young man, is he? Like that. I think they'll go on that. That'll be it for Hodgson this year. So realistically, now you're looking at one from 6, 7 teams in the way Brentford, I know the one handsomely the weekend, the way they've been going, the way Leeds have been going.
Everton are currently getting beat.
Everton as well, yeah.
Spurs as well. So they're
dropping. Goodison or White Hart Lane, or whatever it's called now, Tottenham Stadium. Don't know. It doesn't matter. That's it. I mean, it's the same. The 2-0 defeat, 2-0. That's it.
How long has it been going that game as well?
Not be that long. Yeah, probably one night, isn't it?
Like to be a quarter to. Oh, it's man. It's Monday night football. It'll be 8 o'clock start.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, there was another team that was 2-0 up within 15 minutes recently.
There was.
Newcastle.
I like that little.
I was well played.
Seamless.
I enjoyed that.
So Newcastle were 2-0 up in the first 15 minutes. But once again, unchanged side for Eddie Howe. Or we're just expecting this every single week now?
I think we'll see changes Thursday. But I think I still wasn't sure whether Mankio might have came in for Kraft, but you know he's been all right, hasn't he? He hasn't been startling, but he's been okay, steady away. So it makes the decision easy, doesn't it?
I think it's been Kraft's best run of form forward, and I mean the bar is very low there, but he's done You give the free kick away that West Ham scored from down there 3-4 weeks ago, whatever that was. So apart from that,
because we've only, I'm not trying to be awful, but we've only played Brentford and then Brighton, like since that mistake that you're on about.
Yeah.
So them 2 games.
Has he not played 3?
I've only played 2 since then.
Since West Ham, have we?
West Ham away, we played
I think
Brentford the week
I
after.
think
And
that's
then
the
that
odd game that we drew out with
There's only 2 games we've played.
Unless I'm counting when he came on.
But still, them 2 games are better than probably what we were expecting. I did feel personally, I felt on Saturday that they tried to target our right-hand side a lot. Certainly the first half, it was constantly down the end we were sitting at, and Mark was griefing Willock a lot. And I'd say rightfully so at the time. But he was like, what up, man? But,
he was chasing shadows, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He wasn't following the man behind him, but they were obviously trying. And why wouldn't you? But having said that as well, though, the lad on the right-hand side,
Lamptey, the other side was the same, wasn't he?
You go back to the season before, where obviously the lad did start very well, didn't he? That season, he absolutely rinsed her.
He had some Maximin from toast.
And who was the left back at that time? It was a Dummett at that time. No, it wasn't. It was Lewis, wasn't it? Sorry, it was Lewis and Maxi were playing together.
Aye.
God almighty, he absolutely rinsed both of them. Target, not an issue. Not an issue. The full game.
Mind on the left-hand side, I thought because of
Cucurella.
He was a dick, him, like.
Yes.
He was bloody good, though.
Aye.
He wasn't very quick. Well, Murphy did him for the first goal.
Yeah, aye.
Yeah, he seemed to be involved a lot, didn't he, though? Like, everything that we're trying to do was going through him.
Yeah, but I didn't like his wanker.
But Murphy just, I mean, I know he's quick. I mean, we talked about it at the game on Saturday. He just seemed to have an extra yard of pace at the weekend. Like,
what happens when you train, mate?
When you're fit.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I would like them to concentrate now on his finishing, because I think he might be the poorest finisher I've ever seen in Newcastle.
Well,
it was a similar ding that you tried against. Who was it? That
Watford, I think.
Watford,
when
just put it in the net.
Oh yeah,
he's a shocking. He's an awful finisher. I thought he was really actually.
Well, at the time watching it, like I don't know why he didn't just hit it.
Say just before that hit by Murphy, the play by Kris Wood on the halfway line.
Yeah,
he doesn't even touch the ball. He just drops his right shoulder and he just follows it around.
The ball comes inside. It looks like a dangerous ball to play into the middle from right back.
That's what opens it up.
And he turns lovely. And I've not heard anyone else talk about that, Kris. But you're right. It's a lovely
unbelievable. And the pass, it's almost pinpoint for Murphy. Murphy, great. And this is something which we haven't seen for a long time for the Newcastle players. Through balls. It's only long balls, through balls, and we're literally cutting defences open.
I think Bruno's been teaching them in training. He loves the through ball, doesn't he? Bless him.
He must be.
But I totally agree. Wood there was outstanding, wasn't it? And I have to be fair, where me and Mark was sitting, like, I didn't think there was any way Murphy was going to get to that ball. No. I just thought, oh well, that's it's a decent attempt at the chance, but he's never going to get there. And the next thing you know, Murphy's away.
And that's where that extra yard of pace came from, because he just seemed to go from cruising with him to away. And I say we know he's fast, but he seemed just to be that extra yard ahead, because there was a couple of times where he did have him on toast, like with a bit of pace down the side.
We'll have to give credit to Fraser, who finished it. He did have a chance earlier on, not long before that.
Little volley thing.
Yeah, but credit to him, because he gets in the box and he holds the run a little bit. He's thinking, right, we'll see what happens. And their defense are just chasing the ball.
They go back the line.
Then obviously, when the ball comes back off the post, their defense is so flat-footed they kind of turn around in time.
He's done well to stick it into the side netting, like from where he is.
The gap's narrow in it. They've got their lad in the line there, and he's just got his power. But it's a really good finish, and the effort he had beforehand was a good ball by Willock down our right. And at the time, I thought he could do better with it, but haven't seen it again. It's a decent volley on his wrong foot. Could have been near the corner, but
I agree with you. In the moment, I thought he could have done better, but seeing it back, I was like, actually,
it's not a bad effort.
It's not bad.
I just thought it was an awkward height for him at the time. It probably looked not as much of an awkward height watching it back than I thought it was at the time. But it's
I will be honest. We were incredibly lucky to be 1-0 up. I felt I didn't feel that we deserved it. I mean, I don't care that we didn't deserve to. I'm just being honest that I thought
all the way through they did.
All the way through they did.
The first 10 minutes they did, and then we had that run where we got the 2 goals, and then from the end of the first half and right through the second half. If it had been 2-1 to Brighton, 3-1 to Brighton, you could go like, that's probably fair.
This is the sort of performances we're getting from the team at the minute.
Yeah.
Like, we can win games and look quite comfortable winning them, but also we just looked last week as well.
Danny Welbeck looked like Didier Drogba as well. So I was in the first half thinking, I was talking to me mate, saying, "No, Welbeck. I'm sure he's at Watford. And then at half time, I said, "Who's the number 18?" He goes, "It's Danny Welbeck." I'm fucking kidding. He's brilliant. He's winning everything in the air. He's causing loads of bother. It's like he's how's he like a
Transform.
second or third choice of Watford?
I think injury record,
Brighton?
I think, is possibly the problem
Yeah.
for him. Like, because I agree, he's a good player. Like,
I thought he looked excellent on Saturday, albeit Dubravka only had to make two saves.
That's what I was just going to say.
I agree with. I was going to say as well as that. I thought they had all the ball, and I'm not going to lie, I was sitting there very nervous at times.
Yeah.
But Dubravka didn't have to do much. The first half, he pulled off 2 good saves. It felt almost back to back actually. And there was one where I'm sure you shouted, and you because I didn't know. It was a free header, and somehow someone got a block. Burn did some unbelievable blocks in the first half, like where I thought this is a goal. And he was there, to block it. But the second half, for all they had all of the ball. They didn't really do anything. Really.
And one shot down towards the bottom left, about 80 minutes in.
I said they didn't do anything to score. I said they didn't do anything to score.
Had a few corners, but again, they said Dan Burn. If Dan Burn was playing for them last weekend and they defended well, I thought was it Dunk who scored the goal?
Yes.
They won everything in the air. Wood didn't win a header.
I'm not surprised. The size of that centre half alongside Dunk.
Brighton were really a good side. I'm surprised they're in such poor form because they were good to watch them on Saturday.
Do you just think they just lack a bit of quality doing the top end of the field?
If them I've just said, well, but was this like that's probably about right.
Yeah. If them had some real quality at that top end, they'd be in no trouble at all because I think they're a great side.
That's exactly what they were missing because they swarmed forward in numbers. At times, they seem to have a forward line of 6 players.
Actually, there was a point in the second half I counted how many they had in the pitch because I thought this isn't right. Everyone's missed something. Yeah. But now we're in I can confirm like 10 yellow shirts and 1 goal.
It feels as if having Dan Burn in the squad, obviously it's helped us in regards to his performance. But do you think maybe we've had a little bit of inside knowledge into their setup and their players' attributes and weaknesses?
I think there'll be something. I don't know how much because Potter changes it that much during a game.
He's very clever.
He's a really good bearing in mind we apparently before Howe had some employees who couldn't change formations from one game to the next. They're doing it like 4 or 5 times a game and causing bother with it. Losing still, I suppose, like it was at the weekend. But yeah, I really like Potter. But I'm a little bit concerned he's grown his beard. It touched the routines about that.
I was thinking that as well.
Right.
I was thinking that as well. I think just to comment very quickly, we'll probably talk about it later, but it is in reference to your question, Chris. Fraser's interview, where it was just amazing again. They're getting better and better, their interviews, aren't they? Where he mentions...
It's always Fraser as well, isn't it?
It is always Fraser because he's so honest, isn't he?
Yeah.
Quite articulate as well. Like
he is, yeah. I love that. And I also love just how he's almost just talking to his mates almost. It feels like he's not bothered what he says. He just says what's on his mind, if you know. But he said about Eddie Howe, almost Eddie Howe's playing the game forward. He said he tells her if them pass to the right, we need to do this to counteract this for this particular reason.
And he says, if that doesn't happen, then we'll know what to do after that.
Yeah, like, so that's, you know what I mean? That is unreal, right?
Unreal how switched on he is. And it just shows you the level of the coach that he
comes
is.
straight out and he goes, but we're back in tomorrow. There's no days off until the next game. And we saw the week where Almiron had put a photo on Instagram, I think it was, and he's exactly the same way.
I think he put no days off, didn't he? Something
no days off.
Happy birthday, you bastard.
You can understand it when we've got a game on Thursday that we need to get back together and focus on that one and how they're going to approach that game. But you maybe thought he would have at least let them maybe have a lighter session or something like that rather than straight into it.
It might be 4 days in, but with like half an hour, we'll kind of soft play. You bring your game boys in one afternoon, like we'll just have a bit of terrace.
It's just like you said, Deka, the interviews which are coming from the players is fantastic to hear. How many times we've been frustrated of interviews coming out at the club, and yes, you hear from Eddie Howe in the conferences, but afterwards, I'm wanting to hear from the likes of Fraser and the players on the field about what is happening and why they're doing so well.
Well, there's always I would always avoid press conferences like the plague under the previous manager. When Darryl puts the link to the ones in, I'll watch the whole thing. 25 minutes, that's me. I'm sorted. I'm grand. From clock off at work. I want to see what Eddie's got to say.
Yeah, because he's the man, isn't he? Like the way he talks, the way he talks about.
He's a modern manager. It's what we've had it before. The manager before, where I'm trying not to name any names.
Which one was that?
Where he would, the Spanish lad, where he would break down, and he was quite well known for being very methodical, and like your training would stop it and won't give a notice, right? And one person could be like 2 yards the wrong way, right? You've got to go that way, and here's why. And how it feels like Howe's got that again as well. And he went over to he's a manager who kind of set the defence up apparently, with conceded fewest goals in the league since Christmas.
Yeah,
I think maybe it's the same as Liverpool now because they kept a clean sheet on Saturday. against West Ham. But he's done his homework. He's knew where he was deficient, known where he was deficient. Gone to Atletico Madrid, seen Diego Simeone. He's been, I forget where else now. Portugal, I think I read.
And Kiwi Trib, yeah.
Right, Napoli didn't he as well? He went to Italy, yeah.
And he's gone over and said how to work, right? How to teach us. So he's known where his shortcomings were and gone, right. And he's not a perfect manager. I've said when they appointed him, I would love him to be in 15 years' time. He packs in, we've got this massive hall of trophies and all that. Like, and Eddie Howe stands there and all that. Like, and it's all.
Are we going to have replicas?
Is he alive at the time or is he dead?
That depends. Hopefully for me, alive. I know your feelings, Mark, on that particular. Maybe he's a training ground to be named after him. Is that all right? He'll be alive. When Shane won,
he wouldn't even have a bar named after him, man.
One of the stands at the MCG is going to be named after Shane.
He's dead. It's allowed now.
Straight away, right? That's it. Aye.
God rest his soul.
Second goal, Mark. Fabian deserves this goal.
What a header.
He's been fantastic.
Great header.
What a header it is.
Absolute bullet. To be fair, like again, as you just been mentioning,
It's not
Brighton's
a free kick, let's be honest. It's not a free kick.
Well, it's
a soft free kick.
It's one of them, isn't it? Where you
it reminds us of the same area as well, where yeah, the same area. You know, it is a soft one, but these things happen.
It is. Well, you know, it's nice to get a bit of a look at every now and again. But
Brighton's goal was offside, wasn't it? I thought before the corner.
Yes, totally right. Yes, it's a disgrace.
I've not seen it since, but from my first view, I thought he's offside there, well back, so that's going to be. Then it didn't give it. Then
they got the corner from
scored,
it. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
That's
So
a cool VR bit, isn't it? But it's a great header. I mean, if you're Brighton, you're asking questions about your defence there, aren't you? Because he just basically has a free header at the near post, but he just does so well just to get the power on it, and a bit enough of a glance to just to put it in like at the near post and beat the keeper. But it's just perfectly timed, like run and finish. It's
keeper gets a good hand on it as well. Like maybe he could do better, really. Like, but.
My mate was saying at work, my bestie, he was saying that it reminded him of the West Ham goal that them scored against us. Ironically, you know, it was very similar to that, which it was. And I think what's been lovely, personally for me, anyway, is like the last 4 goal scorers that we've had. Obviously, the previous game, Joelinton, Willock scored, and everyone came away going, it's them two really deserve them 2 goals because they've been great. This week we've had Shea and Fraser, and I can't pick another 2 players that I would say deserve a goal more.
Shelvey, maybe, yeah.
Maybe John Joe, possibly. I think he got his at Leeds, if that makes. I just feel the last few weeks like it's
Dan Burn. He's had 4.
Oh God,
It's coming though, isn't it?
In a better position.
Yeah,
it's. I think it's. As well, I think it's coming for him though. Like the way he's kind of. But the thing is we also were seeing it with that goal is that people are concentrating on Dan Burn and concentrating on Chris Wood, and they're either doubling up on them, which then gives our other players a little bit of space. We definitely saw it last week, the goal that was scored, Joelinton's header, because there was 2 marking Chris Wood and another one just in front. So
I tell you what, when you think that you're naming a few players here, there's some serious threat in the air. Like, you know, I must admit, every time Brighton came up for a corner, I was like, Christ. All of them just seem 10 foot, like just big lads, like, you know.
Our issue has always been the delivery, not the who's on the end of it, because we've got people that are good headers of the ball, but we couldn't put the ball on the heads to do it. Whereas we now seem to be getting that delivery right.
Through that daft little run in that Bruce where it seemed to happen. That daft little run where centre halves were scoring.
Was that the start of his first season?
No one could. The attackers couldn't score.
Yeah, he did.
But no, I totally agree, Mark. Because I remember not so long ago. God, it feels not so long ago. Of course it was. But Wadden scored from like 500 set pieces. That was ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, Pardew days.
Remember them days? Oh God. But yeah, so I totally deserve for Shea. To be honest, I think he's been absolutely magnificent. Like magnificent.
It's great not to be that sort of team that's scoring the same sort of goals as well.
Aye,
it's a variety of goals which we're scoring now.
It's good to get goals from all over the pitch as well, because you're not just relying on your forward line.
He's probably got him and Dubravka, the only ones that are on scoring.
Yeah. Well, I'll hold my hand up. Both hands, if you want us to, is about going back not so long ago. I would say the only person that could score a goal or create a chance would be Saint-Maximin. Right? I've sat here for weeks and said that. And then now we've got goals from all over. Christ, even Joelinton scoring now. You know what I mean? From centre midfield, right? Like, it's. I don't know. There's a lot of things into that, isn't it? It's the work that Eddie Howe's doing, and I'm a huge believer in confidence, like within the players. I really am, and I think if the players are confident and you build momentum, you're seeing now what the type of run they can put together. You know, it's just amazing to see.
I even think if that momentum is broken, let's say if we lose one of the next couple of games, I don't think that'll really hit them that hard. I honestly think they can get straight back up and go again.
I think so. I mean, we've been behind. You know, went behind it against West Ham the other week, and it didn't really. From that moment on, look a better team. I know it's not the same as losing the game. We might lose a game heavily. We've got Liverpool, Man City coming up back to back, like towards the end of the season. But
Chelsea's coming up soon as well.
Yeah,
that's Sunday. Chelsea again.
Yes, we've got Southampton, Chelsea, and Everton.
And then Palace has been postponed, hasn't it, because of the FA Cup involvement, which is good because it means that we'll get a bit more of a break week, than we would have had.
We'll need it after
it's going to be
4 games in 2 weeks.
We're not going to get 9 points from these. We might not even get 6 points from these 3 games. You know,
no, mate.
Did we went 1-0 down against Everton, didn't we? And we won 3-1.
Yes, we did because it was the own goal, and then we came back straight immediately.
That's correct. Yeah,
Lascelles and
I still feel that personally, to me, how I felt that was a huge turning point in that game.
Holgate. Yeah, I wouldn't say Seamus Coleman, but
it wouldn't surprise me if we lost the next 2. If I'm being truthfully honest with you,
no,
it wouldn't surprise us. That's not trying to sound negative. Like Southampton away and Chelsea away back to back within 3 days. I think it's pretty tough. Me
personally. Could be, but then Southampton got beat 4-0 off Villa. I mean, Coutinho was incredible at the weekend there. But Southampton were the start of the weekend. I think one position either above or below Brighton. Above, I think they were 9th. Brighton were 10th. Brighton were the first top half team we've beaten this season. Which was I think was the match of the day. I think that was said on the commentator said. So
if you get something against Southampton,
but I was confident on Saturday.
I was
again thinking like, I want to beat these, and that's again, I wasn't thinking about the top half teams that we hadn't beaten all. It was just thinking the way we're playing
in Brighton's
the full way they were
honking.
They hadn't scored.
I was thinking Besty on the metal, to be honest. I think
honking. I spent like a kit bag.
The kipper in a kit bag.
Kipper in a kit bag. after the trolley push. I'm not going to say that.
I've never heard that saying before.
Their form was rancid.
It's even more rancid now because of comparing it. Gone home with a big fat L.
I think for them, I mean, they'll probably be going to the dressing room. I can't believe I haven't getting something out of that game. And
definitely deserves.
But I think I put this on Twitter as well. And honestly, I feel if you had went back, a few months ago, we would have definitely dropped points, perhaps even lost that game. And I don't want to call out individuals.
But how many times have we said that in the last couple of weeks, though, that we would have lost or drawn that game?
Yeah.
We've said it a lot.
Man, we did lose or draw every game in the season, pretty much.
I would honestly say, like, if Lascelles was playing, without with Burn obviously taking his position, I think if Lascelles was playing, we may have drew that game. I think Burn, honestly, I
think if Burn was still at Brighton, would have lost it.
As
good as well as he defended,
he was outstanding. And to be fair, Target as well. Like Target was outstanding, man. Like he done a head out of the goalkeeper in the first half. I think everyone stood up on the ground and applauded. It was like a diving header, back of the goalkeeper.
It was because it was over his eye.
It was just unbelievable.
It was something that we've not seen. Richie wouldn't have done it. Dummett wouldn't have done it. Lewis wouldn't have done it. It was just the composure, the quality to do it.
The awareness, the composure. It was just amazing. And he's been doing that all the time. And Dan Burn's the same. I honestly remember 2 or 3 blocks in that first half where for me that was a goal and Burn got there. You know what I mean? And that's the difference from winning 2-1 and drawing or perhaps even losing. So
he's such a good centre half. I hadn't realised.
30 million
better news as we are recording live. Everton are now 3-0 down. This is fantastic, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not getting that information. Everton are 3-0 down. But given onside.
If you've got Everton and Leeds down there, one of them goes.
You're worried.
Kane and Son.
You're worried. As an Everton fan, you'd be worried. But this is an Everton podcast. But I would love to see them go down.
Be great, wouldn't it?
I don't have any real problem. When I was a kid, I quite like Everton.
What about now?
Duncan Ferguson's still there. I love Dunk.
Do you not think that the fan... John was a very good friend of mine, actually. He might be watching, but apart from John, I don't know. I just feel like they're a bit...
entitled.
Yes, that's a great word. Yes. I mean, but a lot of fans think we probably
never
have
been relegated in the history of that's the thing with Everton.
No,
The sort of Division 2 got promoted, I think, in 1899 maybe. They've not been relegated since. The only club never been relegated.
I just seem to moan at home. Like when I watch them on the tape, they just moan.
What was the banner that done when I was doing the protest? We demand success or something like that.
Yeah, it was something along. It wasn't we demand a team that tries. It was very.
It was the opposite of what we said.
It wasn't in the slightest bit kind of humble or like it was.
Well, they even had. I thought it was awful when they were the new manager they were going to get. Obviously, I know Lampard got the job.
Yeah.
But there was the other guy they were linked with, and they had already written banners on. Like
it was rough.
Literally,
it was Unai Emery.
It was the guy in. in Ukraine,
We
wasn't
don't
it?
want you. Putin.
The one that we were linked with,
Oh, Fonseca.
Fonseca.
Oh, that's right. Yes, and the
Yeah.
sprint on the side of the wall. Get out. You hadn't even got the job yet. I was like, that's awful. That, like, do you know what I mean?
It was said a few times. I know I said it on here, but I didn't come up with it. But Everton fans are what the media seem to think we are.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Totally.
Absolutely
It is.
They're all right. We're lovely lads.
I just. Oh, sorry. You don't continue, Chris. Continue.
Yeah, back to Newcastle United. So let's talk about their goal. Okay. So
Corner and header, wasn't it?
could Dubravka do better?
I think he probably should, to be honest with you. He gets,
It's in the 6-yard box, isn't it?
he comes for it and it's just taken out of his hands almost by Duncan. Yeah, he should
I
be attacking that more. It's a good header. He gets forward. It's
I
a
feel
good,
as if
powerful.
Murphy should be doing more to stop his man getting that close to Dubravka.
Murphy was at fault for West Ham as well. It was his man that got away for the West Ham.
He
header.
does. It's not necessarily the man getting away. It's the fact that he's not really protecting the goalkeeper. Then he lets, obviously, I don't know who it was that he was marking, but he just basically stands in front of Dubravka. Then Dubravka moves the last minute, but he just can't get there quick enough.
It's a good run from Dunk to get into that position. He's getting himself in towards the near post, between the near post and the keeper. As somebody attacking a corner, that's where you want to be.
Absolutely.
It's a good delivery. It's a good finish.
I think Dubravka probably should do a little bit
I think
better.
Dubravka look at it and think, I probably should have done better there.
Yeah, I think so.
Attack the ball more forward rather than
It's something which we've
coming
seen,
out maybe.
seen Dubravka do loads in the last handful of games. He hasn't had much to do, but he's been controlling that box really well recently. But it hasn't cost Will, luckily.
It happens, doesn't it? It happens.
It does. And Dubravka, like Deka said at the start, he pulls off another decent couple of saves in the
I
first
thought he
half.
did, yeah.
Well, they had another chance from the corner, more or less straight after the goal, where he does come and take it. So it's one of those, isn't it?
That one towards the end, I think it was a cross that came in, and the lad hits it early towards the bottom left, and he gets down really well, because that's the kind of thing you see just sneak in sometimes.
Is that the one where he saves it and kind of spills it, but then gets it straight after?
It
He
was
gets it on the line more or less, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Trossard?
I can't remember. Possibly.
Strange looking.
There is one where
Gordon-
Dubravka looks
Leandro
like he hasn't
Trossard.
a clue
Trossard,
where
that's
his
it.
goal
Trossard.
is, though.
It was going wide, that one as well.
He goes down,
Just
he
kind of
hasn't
I
got
just
a
like a
clue.
weird catch.
It's like he panics.
No, that one he
No, he
kind
just
of
pushed
pushed out for corner.
Yeah,
It's like it's
It
going
was-
wide, and I think he just panics it. I think he might just get a glimpse of where the goal is, then he just hits it, thinking, protecting it, yeah, like,
Flash of
Yeah.
post in the corner of his eye.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what it is. He goes,
Aye.
shit, I'll throw that
Yeah,
around
you
there.
just gotta. You know, if you're unsure, you're best to be safe, right? Because if you think you'd let it go or whatever, it's in, and you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
You've just
There
got to
was-
sometimes act, haven't you?
There was one at the Gallowgate end where I think it might have been Welbeck where he hits it and he just gets his body in the way.
It's his shoulder,
and
his
puts
back.
it over. I think
Yeah.
that's something like Schmeichel would have done back in the day of just getting something on it to do it.
Just because you
get it out
mentioned
the way.
Schmeichel, I put the last I gave one the other day, and I'll put it on for about 20 seconds. In those 20 seconds, it went.
We were sitting watching it, weren't we?
So it went to Schmeichel, and the commentator went, "His dad, Peter." And I was gone.
I remember saying it was because I went on a bit of a rant, didn't I, about because he
So
ran
was
over.
kicking off, aye.
Yeah, and I was like, he probably ran over and just said, "Your dad, my dad's Peter Schmeichel."
The commentator
Yeah,
went, "His dad, Peter."
his dad's Peter, and then it went to the crowd, didn't it? I was like, "Oh." Fuck.
Well, we were watching it in the bodega, wasn't it? And it was on him, and he made a save, and then it went to him. They're going, "My dad's Peter."
Like when the commentator said, I went, "Oh my god!"
Now he's played more games, he's dad now in the Premier League.
Has he?
Well,
That
Give
feels
it
really
over.
weird.
Really?
That, aye.
crazy. Yeah.
His
the
dad
heck?
only had 8 or 9 years.
Was he at Darlington for a while?
Aye. Darlington he was at Leeds, I think, on loan briefly. I'm not the Premier League, obviously. Darlington. He's been at Leicester for a long time now. He
Yeah,
Leicester,
he's
Leicester.
He's had a fabulous career at them anyway. Isn't
Yeah.
he? He's had
Considering, I mean, again, we talked about this when we were watching it, but it didn't go great for him at Man City, and then he kind of had to leave there, and he's went and
He was at
joined
Notts
Leicester
County.
and done well.
I think he
Yes,
was at Notts County.
that's
when
right.
Sol Campbell was-
Yeah,
he
that's
was,
right.
Sol Campbell.
Yeah.
Sven was manager.
So because
We're not Castle Schmeichel.
We've covered Leicester, we've covered Everton.
my dad is not Peter. My dad's
All
not
with
Phil.
Schmeichel faces.
The players that came on the field, we'll go through their performances. Who was the first one? Was it Saint? Was the first one on? I can't remember. So Saint,
Yeah, Saint definitely
Saint
came
comes
on.
and Bruno.
He did. He
comes
came on for Fraser, didn't he?
Fraser, yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Which I thought was
he
the.
struggling though. Fraser
Fraser
was
was
struggling.
knackered.
He
He
was
was knackered.
knackered, mate.
There was a point where the ball went past. He lost it, and he just laid down. Was like, "Fuck!" And he took him ages to get back up and that.
Yeah. And
He's close to
he
the alley.
he won the ball. It was on the far on that side. He was because he went and he he literally on his honk as he was just couldn't breathe
Took a kick
almost.
in the head earlier
I was
on.
just going to mention
Yeah,
that because he
did.
was getting
He
kicked
did,
all
yeah.
over the place, but I don't understand how that wasn't a booking. Like
That was weird, that one, because it looks the lad's trying to control it in midair, and Fraser kind of comes from behind him. It's not as if he kicks through
if
Fraser.
you've got your foot up there, and it's not. You even laughed and said, "Well, it's because Fraser's small," but when you see it, his foot's way up.
Not that kind of podcast.
It was the 64th minute. Saint came on for Murphy. Was obviously the first sub.
Made a difference Saint as well. Like when he came on, the couple of times he carried the ball
Legs.
forward, big style. But I did have a big bone to pick with him at one point.
Okay. What is it?
I'm scared to say it because if those people out there who just won't let it lie when someone has a go about Saint.
Okay. Well,
There's one here.
Sorry,
There's
yeah.
one here. Point here. No, but I think we're going to agree.
You're
And I'm
allowed
going to
that.
come back to another person in a second. But go on,
I
Besty.
think you're going. It's the point at which he lost the ball in front of the corner. Maybe fairly, maybe not. But it's an injury time. Maybe like 89 minutes. But instead of chasing back, he's having to go to the referee.
Oh, he had a strop,
And
didn't he?
He turned around and
he's
give a strop.
Only
Yeah,
from meter mark away from the bloke, so he could easily put some pressure on him.
Yeah.
But he just stops and it's like, no, you don't do that. 2-1 up, late in the game.
Yeah.
Paris, as the situation is in the league, you just don't do that. And then the crowd had a go at him. He waved an arm. Whether it was at the crowd or the referee, I don't know. I'm going to give him the benefit of that and say it was at the referee's kind of lack of action, but that was fucking poor. That like, sorry everyone.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on Murphy not going into Fraser.
See how we quickly changed the subject
that
there
was-
away from Saint.
No. I do agree because listen, I didn't give him any grief, but I didn't give Murphy any grief for not passing either. I actually don't give any of the players any grief when I'm there.
I don't in the ground.
I just don't.
Are you sure? You had a couple of grumbles at Chris Wood early on.
No, I don't think I did I?
Aye.
Well, grumbles are loud, but vocal.
I remember standing up and
Screams,
absolutely
maybe not.
fist pumping and applauding Joelinton just for tackling someone. That was brilliant. I love Joelinton.
He's mentally though.
He's just amazing. I just love him. Honestly, I can't explain to you how much I love him. Like, saying though, yes, there was another time actually I thought he should have passed it. There was listen, he's running dead quick, and there's not many better things I enjoy when I'm there. If I'm being truthfully honest, is when he's running full flight. Like, I mean,
It's amazing.
it's something to see. There was a part where the ball looked like it was going out of play, and somehow he scooped it. It went on, he slid and
So
scooped
he
it round.
slid, wasn't it?
yeah.
And then
Right
beat a
foot
man
was
almost at the
Stand.
same time. I was
Yeah.
like, fucking hell.
And he did. When he came on, that was my only bone to pick. I thought he kept a hold of the ball really well. He's taking the ball 30, 40 yards up the pitch and just relieving pressure on because it was all Brighton that second half.
was,
That's
yeah.
half hour when he came
Yeah,
on.
it was, yeah.
And he did that brilliantly, and that's not the reasonable in the game, but certainly he contributed.
There was a one where like he played it really well to Bruno eventually, because I was a bit worried he wasn't going to pass, and I was concerned if you don't pass it here, you're going to get it.
I think he played the wrong ball there.
And then he gave it to Bruno, and Bruno it was quite a poor. It was a left foot cross. It just went nowhere.
Yeah.
But I agree though. At least he was
ball, wasn't it?
there was to the other side, but he went to Bruno, and, but he was relieving the pressure, and as I say, running the full flight's great to see. But after Saint, I love the ovation when he come on as well. I thought it was lovely. I really did. It's good moments, when players like that come on. But anyway, after that was who was the next player after that?
Bruno.
Bruno came on for Fraser.
What was your gripe with Murphy though?
The square, he should have squared it to Fraser.
So when it was messed up, was it done
Oh
that
my
messed up?
God.
Even if he hadn't squared it, just don't play it
such
right down. It's an awful
finish. And it goes back to your point about him being a poor finisher.
Yeah.
But the thing, what I think, man, is I'll sometimes forgive a player if they're on the stronger foot. So if Saint-Maximin, let's just say it was flipped and it was the other side, and he cuts in, all right, Fraser might be there. But if he's on his stronger foot, even I'd probably say go on then. I probably would, if I'm honest. But Murphy's on his weaker side and still just took a shot, which was dreadful. It was like it's pass back, really. And Fraser was standing there, wide open.
I agree he should have passed, but I think 9 times out of 10, any player that's in that position does the same thing because he's
I can't wait till Saint doesn't.
he's through on goal, more or less one-on-one with the keeper. Yes, there's a defender on the far post, so he's fancying himself, isn't he, of doing it? But it is that thing of he's not the greatest of finishers. We've seen it in his little dink, which, I guess it's probably clever getting it over for it, and he's lucky that it does come back to Fraser for the little tap in.
I thought it was a confident finish.
It was a
confidence that to just
when you
try
watch
and
it.
chip a keeper.
When you watch it back, it's probably the right thing to do to lift it the keeper because the keeper's came out a long way. He's already starting to go down, but when you're running through at the keeper like that, you're expecting the player to put the laces through it.
I don't mind him dinking it, just hit the target.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's all well and good. I think the Dink probably is a right finish, the clever finish, a confident finish, which is not a very good finish. It's not a good Dink.
I couldn't believe it didn't go in, like, to be honest, at the time.
I could because it was Murphy. And I like, you know what it is? I'm sitting here and I've not said a good word about him all night. I actually do like Jacob Murphy. I think he's all right. He did really for the goal to get away from Cucurella. That's hard to say. I don't know. Jogging or jogging. I don't know. Gets away from him really well good pace. He contributed well in the game, but the bloke kind of finish. He kind of finished. Was it in our group where someone says, "Oh, in training apparently he's like he just won't stop scoring goals"?
Maybe
Pressure's off, though, isn't it?
I do think he feels
like,
in
the championship's full well and could do it in Premier League.
bit harsh on me. But no, I do think he fills in really well, if I'm honest with you, defensively. I thought certainly in the first half he was coming back and getting them some great areas actually to defend. But
let's be honest, we were all worried when New Saint was going to be missing. And Murphy's came in and done a decent job, to be fair. But that's because the other players around are having fantastic games.
What's that word?
we've adapted.
We've
Mark.
adapted.
I must admit, when Saint come on, I forgot about players swapping sides. So I thought, shit, Saint's coming on for Fraser. Everyone's going to be having a go at Kraft here. Totally forgetting that, like, of course, Fraser can go on that side. And then, that can happen.
Yeah.
And no, Matt, he didn't come for Fraser, did he? Came on for
So Saint-Maximin came on for
Saint
for
came on
Murphy.
for Murphy.
For Murphy. That's what.
And then Bruno came on for Fraser.
Because I thought Saint would have left Kraft quite exposed.
Quite possibly,
but then he didn't because that.
Well, that's right. He then stuck Joe on the right, didn't he? Which I thought was a bit
when Bruno
strange.
came on.
Yeah,
because he put Bruno a bit deeper. Grumo. That's a different thing altogether.
Grumo Guimaraes.
Put Bruno on a bit deeper, and then put Joe on the right, and and that was.
And did you see that? I certainly don't. I'm trying to have a go at him here. He worked damn hard and he absolutely whacked someone, and it was great because the fans were up for him. But you've seen what you lose, right? By moving Joelinton out wide, he was just not even close to the same player.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? And it does prove just how important he is in the middle. And we're very lucky to have found that, because if he was playing left wing or perhaps right wing, he wouldn't be playing.
It did stop Cucurella getting forward as much when he went over there, but it
you can just see
it spoiled his game.
It did 100%. He honestly, sorry, 2 seconds.
I was going to.
Chris said no for 20 minutes.
I was going to carry on. Sorry,
I forgot he was here.
Put him glasses on with the eyes on.
The Joelinton praise, because I just love
it. That's where I'm going. Yeah, do you know, like, I love how he wins the ball back. He'll get stuck in and all of that. I do love it, but I absolutely love when he gets the ball, just how strong he is on the ball, composed he is on the ball. There was a few times where, there was a few times, right, where I actually thought we give him the ball in some difficult areas, like tight areas in midfield, and I thought, Jesus, he's got 2 or 3 people here on him. He's only taking 1 touch. He's shielding that ball away out wide.
He's quality. He is.
Like quality.
Yeah.
Every time, every single time. There was one where all he did, bless him, was he charged the player down that went out for a goal kick to them. The Gallowgateshots, it was amazing, right? Absolutely erupted
when he dusted Cucurella towards the end.
Yeah, he dusted him.
The crowd, he's getting booked in the crowd singing his name. It's
just amazing, isn't it?
I've never known a turnaround like it in the fans' perception of a player. Like I've never known it.
I honestly love him. I just love everything about him. Like,
I just love listening to Deka praising him, because it's music to my ears after
2.5 years.
Having to listen to him for 2.5 years, he was shite constantly.
But he was, in fairness, a lot of the time.
But he wasn't shite.
No,
he wasn't. He wasn't.
Come on.
He wasn't the level that he was. He wasn't.
He was nowhere near this.
No, admittedly.
I think I'm firmly like between you and Deka on this one. I think, yes, we can admit that at times he was pretty shit. But now we've all just got to forget what's happened in the past and just appreciate him for being the best player.
Is he looking like value for 40 million now?
100%.
He's cheap. Cheap for 40 million.
He's cheap, isn't he? He's cheap.
If a colour comes to you now and goes, right, we'll give you 60 million for him.
No, not a chance.
What else?
He's too important for us. He's too important for us at the minute, because
we watch him in the Brazil squad at the World Cup.
Hey, it's a shout for that type of position. Yes, I know there's a lot of competition in the middle of the park there, but he's just something completely different. The way that he can defend from the front, the way that he just breaks things up, but then he'll get on the front foot and start to attack and lead. The amount of times that he was getting forward and supporting Wood and going up, where, you know, sometimes you think, well, maybe him sitting in the middle of the park, he's not going to be able to do that as much, but he's like the Duracell bunny. He's just
total athlete, like
energy levels are through the roof. He's like He's got Miguel Almiron's energy levels and movement and pace, but he's built like a brick shit house alongside of it. He's the total footballer.
Like how
Simple as that.
As I said before, how composed he is on the ball, how comfortable he is in possession. And he always finds a shirt.
Yeah.
Pretty much always finds a shirt. There was another bit in the first half where they were coming towards where we were sitting. And it was quite, there was a lot of Brighton players there, and he found that pass. I think it was to Willock, and I was like, what a pass that was.
He just plays it so simply as well, though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's not, he doesn't try.
So aware.
So Kieran Trippier compared Joelinton to Musa Dembele.
Yeah, that was a good shout.
That was a very good
shout.
It's very, very good watch. Very good watch.
Put him in the 18.
The Ryan Taylor one yet, man.
Which one? Put him in that
one coming this week, mate.
Big Joe. Put him in the 18-yard box and something happens.
Unless you put it on his head.
That's true. And
it's incredible. I've never seen just a total difference in a player, like the confidence thing or what it's I. But that didn't happen at the weekend, so I don't want to dwell on it. I love him. I absolutely love him.
Yeah, I do.
I really. Someone had the Brazil 1998 World Cup shirt on.
All right.
With Joelinton 7 on the back of the
Really?
game, and you can DHgate them like I.
I'll do that.
I saw the lads with it. I think it was Dylan and his mate with the Joelinton Hawaiian shirts on the original Hawaiian shirts. Before I got room.
I want to get one. Are you allowed to? Can other people buy them or not?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to take any thunder away from anyone.
Apparently, that's already been done, mate.
Unfortunately,
but I know that it's like they've got the flag, the Brazil flags in it. It's a proper like he's just totally won.
He's a cult hero already. Within 10 games, considering the first 50 or 60, everyone was like, get rid of him, take what we can. And then now you've got your 10 or 11 games in, he's the best ever.
You've got dickheads like me going, but he's not really a striker, has he? Really?
It's
I don't know what he is.
It's gone from.
I've been telling you that for years.
Well, it's gone from us as Newcastle fans of saying, right, couple losses right now with them to saying, won't sell them at any price.
Well, it got to the point. I backed him back. I think it was the very first podcast after I'd said I'll probably sell him now. That he said, I'm starting to play now. So cheers, Joe.
Yeah, you broke his
2 years.
You broke his heart.
2 years
broke
back.
His heart.
The first time I said, he's shite. No, hang on a second. Watch this.
But yeah, it's Bruno. Let's talk about Bruno. Bruno comes on, and do you know what it is? Like, he's done a couple of passes which are a bit wild, to say the least, but there's still glimpses in there where you're thinking,
he's Rolls Royce, man.
Who are you?
He's Rolls Royce.
Who are you?
He's
Why
just...
can you not get in this team?
That's
because the very last thing he did in the match, to be honest. We still do that, Bruno.
No, but it works.
But you know what is? I was shitting myself at the time, but that just shows you the belief that he's got in himself and his technical ability to think, right, I'm just going to get this ball and just dribble it out of my own box, even though we're in the 94th minute and we're just slightly winning to do that.
That wasn't the right thing to do, I don't think, Mark.
Inside my head, I was going, fucking get rid of it!
Call me old-fashioned, but I don't think he made the right choice there.
Well, he did.
He did, because he drew a foul.
But if I'd have been the other way, then obviously we would have been sitting saying, I think Murphy was saying that Murphy's probably made the wrong choice.
If Max had been doing that, my goodness God.
Oh, there would have been
my goodness God.
If he had won the free kick, then I'd be saying exactly the same right now.
Maxi would have done it, he would have got tackled.
They ran over the rest.
The best passage of play he did was he came in, them were attacking, I believe, about sent him in the park, and he come in and just nicked the ball back off someone.
No, that was brilliant, really, yeah.
Nick the ball back and then set off on an attack.
It's so fast, isn't it?
That's what it is, and a lot of the players in that position would. I'm not criticising them, but Hayden, for example, would perhaps win the ball back. Sorry, that's it. He's winning the ball back and has the ability to. It's a forward thinking pass immediately, and it's with quality as well. And he put one through to Saint-Maximin through ball. Again, like the pace on the ball was absolutely perfect within that minute, that second. Sorry, so Saint can get onto it, and there's no question that probably over the next couple of games, due to the fact they're so close together, we're going to see Bruno give a full 90 here, and he's going to be out. He's going to be outstanding. There's no question about it.
The thing is, we're talking about that incident in the obviously when he's dicking about with the ball. Fabian wasn't happy. Fabian was going wild, but when we get the free kick, the rest of the players run over to him and start celebrating like we just scored a goal.
Yeah, listen, you can understand either side of that. I mean, I would be if I was a defender that way. I've just put my neck on the line for 95 minutes or 94 minutes, whatever, and you've got someone dicky dancing around in the belly. You fucking get rid of it. I can understand in the heat of the moment going, Jesus, just get rid of it. But at the same time,
when you get the free kick, you're thinking it's like relax.
That was in the game, wasn't it? In fact, literally it was.
It was the last, yeah.
But this is why I love Shea and I love Bruno for this reason. and Shelvey to a degree. I love when players are just composed on the ball and they believe in their ability that it's all right, don't panic. And I love that in a player.
I'll go back to Joe. I'm always going to go back to Joelinton, right? Yes, his game has been fantastic, but the thing I love about Joelinton right now is that bit of a shit house.
Oh, God, I haven't seen
before.
He was scrapping again.
He's going head to head with players. Anybody that he doesn't like or puts a dodgy tackle in, he's straight up and he's over them. And that's what I love about it.
That video from Dele Alli from the Everton game where he just fucking guns out.
He done it again against that player that you were talking about.
Yeah,
Cucurella. Done it again with him.
Yeah. I thought he'd throw an elbow.
Nails.
From where I was, you know how you get the funny angles. I thought, fuck, he's off.
Just his hand, I think. It's just like you see it, God knows how many times in the game. And
I was a bit surprised that lad didn't get booked, like, if I'm honest.
So was I.
Yeah, really surprised.
He had a pop on him. But going back to that Bruno tackle, when he said Hayden made it, I don't think Hayden would have made the tackle.
Maybe not.
Because it's like on a half step almost.
Yeah.
You don't expect the way he kind of so quick to.
It was, wasn't it?
I don't think we've got another player capable in midfield of making that tackle. As quickly as he does it, just kind of, like I say, on a kind of half. Ben Arfa had the goal. Happy birthday, Hatton, by the way.
Friend just in case you're watching.
But he, that goal he scored against Bolton, he runs in a straight line, pretty much. It's not that he's just taking touches when he don't expect him to take a touch. So on the half step, he's like kind of getting the ball, taking a hot up, and now the defenders can't read it. It's David Wheat, like so from
one of the many players
can't read anyway. But
allegedly,
yeah, he writes the tackle.
But like the Bruno one, he puts a foot in when he's that's surely is the foot that he's meant to. It's just you don't think that he's got that. The attacking player's probably thinking, well, he's on his right foot now, so he's not going to be odds gone.
Yeah, it was gone. Like,
it was so quick. It was the quality was excellent.
It's those levels in quality, isn't it? Where we are not used to seeing a player that good in our team.
So our very own Adam Wallace said that Bruno will tear Everton's midfield apart if he starts that game.
There's not many midfields that he won't, because he's just that good.
And then you've got that 4-4-2 guy.
What did he say again?
The Arsenal fan.
So what I did, I done the usual thing where I quoted his ridiculous comment. Basically, he was saying that the terminology he was trying to use that is Bruno, this player that Arsenal wanted, isn't good enough to get in the Newcastle midfield because John Joe Shelvey's keeping him out. That's what he was implying, not obviously giving credit to the three lads that are in midfield right now. So I quote tweeted, let everybody else jump on him, then I blocked them.
It was just pathetic, wasn't it?
Ridiculous.
Pathetic opinion, like, but
that's looking at a football team from the outside in. That's all that.
100%. Like we were under the cosh at that point. We couldn't keep a hold of the ball at all. We were conceding possession all of the time, and he just came on and he kept a hold of the ball. He brought other players into the game where we'd struggled massively in the middle of the park for that entire match until he came on, and he just slowed things down at the right time. He sped them up at the right time with the passes and the little through balls and stuff like that.
I did lose me rag at one point. I think you might have seen it. We do this a lot where when it is getting a bit difficult for Dubravka just pumps it long all the time. And I was like, guys, we haven't kept hold of the ball here for a good hour. And you've been kicking it long for a good hour from goal kick. So anytime he had the ball, Wood, this is nothing against Wood. He's up against two huge centre halves, huge, and there's just really no chance he's going to do much on that. And I just felt we were struggling to keep hold of the ball, and we just kept pumping it along, and it was immediately coming back out, immediately. And I was saying, "Come on, like, can we not start it from the back? Can we not ball? I don't know. Like, I appreciate that might be putting pressure on them, but we've got to be better than just lumping it long."
I felt they were pressing quite high up the pitch as well. They weren't. So
they were. That's what led to the goal.
Yeah,
for us is that they had a very high defensive line, and that was because they were wanting to push forward and attack us very, very quickly and with numbers, which it was working, albeit they didn't really break down that many times.
I loved how wide they were. I loved how wide
they played the ball loads from the centre circle or just sort of out the flanks.
They just left the wide man on the touch line all game.
All the time.
Just said, just stay there. The ball will come to you eventually.
There's a great shout. So anybody that does have any questions, if you want to send them in now, and then we'll obviously do the next 15-20 minutes just dedicated to the questions. Mark Ritchie puts a great comment in saying there's not many midfielders who tackle as much as Joelinton and Bruno do without sliding in.
Totally right. Well, I seen a stat, I think it was William Hill, believe it or not, said that since Joelinton has went in midfield, so maybe 10 games ago, 8 games ago, there's no player made as many tackles in the Premier League than him. He made 40.
That's what that was.
And that's just like
mental.
It's just mad, isn't it?
It's just his interceptions, the way he breaks up play, and he's doing it. And I bang on about it every week. He's doing it much higher up the pitch than we've done it in a long, long time. And again, that's why Shelvey's getting more time and space and playing better because it's not on his toes all the time.
I will say what I've said for a long time is that the three in midfield, it's give her that extra bit of security. It's give her a bit of a security, a bit of license to go forward in the middle. Whereas I think if Joelinton was playing alongside Shelvey, for example, two of them, you might see a slightly different perhaps scenario.
It's now currently 4-0. Spurs.
4-0.
Right. So
that's terrible. Like,
before we go through the questions, one of the things which I want to talk about is war flags.
Are you sure?
Once again.
Let me just.
Okay,
sorry.
Get shot for 4-0.
Yeah.
So war flags. I was there on Friday night recording a video. If you haven't seen the video, it is on the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. So if you want to go and look at that, I was there from 7:15 till about 9:15. But these lads and lasses had been in since 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, they've been waiting all day.
And they had also been there the night before, some of them preparing. And I recorded a few things around the ground with them. And the work that goes into that is phenomenal. Like, I woke up one flight in the Leasers and I got cramp. So God knows how they were doing it all night up and down those stairs. Yeah. It's ridiculous. So honestly, hats off to them because the display on Saturday, it's the biggest one they've done yet. And they were quite worried if it was going to work or not with foot traffic coming into the ground before kickoff.
Yeah.
But as far as it looked,
great.
It looked great.
It's almost an event now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it almost feels like a cup final every game. Like, and it's hard to keep topping it though, isn't it? Because they've been doing so many great ones.
This is
and you
what
feel
they said
like
in the interview that the aim isn't to top it.
Yeah.
I think fans' expectations have got to realise that these are one-offs, these sort of things.
Yes, of course.
The big flags will always be there. The surfers will always be there.
Yeah.
But these sort of things are one-offs.
As long as people don't take them home.
I don't take them home.
But yes, no, honestly, the work that they do is unbelievable. And as you say, you were only there for that period of time and you obviously totally appreciate what the effort was. And I just absolutely love it. Like, and
it looks incredible as well. Like, it looks unreal.
St. James's Park on a night time.
Oh, on the video, mate, it just looked amazing. Like, it looked amazing.
Honestly, like, I had free reign of walking around the ground, and I was like,
I sleep there.
It's just the lower lights, isn't it?
Honestly, I've been going for years, and it's like, it's breathtathing at the minute, and that's probably because all the sponsorships gone. It's very clean surface at the minute.
I think what helped was the pitch lights weren't on.
Yeah,
because they're normally on, which gives it a bit more of a glow.
Well, on the video, obviously, that Kris is on about, like it because it was so dark and you had them little lights on it. It almost looked to me that the seats were painted that way.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah,
which I just could never get sick of looking at. It just looks so beautiful. It looked amazing.
That's one of my long time
white stripes on the seats.
Well, me and Adam were sitting at the match, and we were saying we want black and white nets back. That's what we kept saying all the time. Black and white.
We mentioned that before. Black and white nets.
See, it's all well and good having black and white seats, but you only see them when the stadium's empty. That's
fine, though. That's fine.
That's okay. I mean,
unless they all give black and white hats to wear or something. You're sorted.
After the Man City match, yes, they don't sit in the studio. You got the blue thing with City in it. It does look good. It looks proper.
Well, I shared a photo. I think on Facebook I had seen. I think you might have seen the Besty of the Newcastle United, obviously of the East Stand with all the flags.
Yeah. It looks amazing.
It's never looked any better than that. It's never ever looked any better.
I think that's the thing is obviously we're used to having them in the Gallowgate, but the way that the roof is there, you always seem to lose a bit because you lose the back tier of the Gallowgate because of the overhang of the roof. Whereas when you had it in the East Stand, because it's nice and low and long, you just get the full effect. And they literally must have had every single flag that they own in that stand because it seemed like everybody had one
in the East Stand.
Yeah.
So when I was walking around the East Stand, they were just scattered like everywhere.
There was one. They had a couple.
It started in our corner, didn't it?
They had one next was the bear that stands next to me, but one had one was like everywhere. I was too self-conscious to people. Oh, weird. Like at the end, the Ben put theirs down or walking out. I thought that's the Bane's flag. Why can't I do that?
I think obviously with the Sports Direct gone on that side of the ground,
you don't have to Photoshop it anymore.
Yeah, it's the first time you've seen Newcastle United written with such a wonderful display, like as it was. It was just outstanding. Like it
was breathtaking. It honestly was, and like I said,
it helps generate the atmosphere so much. Like
I remember that epitome of the 12th man. Really
the episode of Soccer Saturday from about a month ago when Jeff Stanton, Newcastle walking out against it, he just stops and says, "Oh, look at this." And you can see everyone go. You can hear them going like, "Oh, how
you can hear it.
And it looks amazing. I forget which game it was now. It might be in Villa. And how can you not walk out in front of that and just be like, that's an atmosphere? That's brilliant.
So
Trippier talks about that in the podcast as well. He talks about war flags and the atmosphere and how it really it takes him
Eddie
by
Howe mentioned it in
surprise
his press conference
every
as
week.
well, didn't he?
He
And a
did,
few of the
he
players
did.
have.
I said a couple of times he's never seen anything like it. You
Yeah.
think he's played in Spain and that, you
Everywhere,
would have seen
yeah.
some.
Oh, I mean,
real,
Atletico aren't
you know,
exactly quite lads,
absolutely,
are they?
So we'll go back through the questions. So Josh, as always, has sent a super chat in. Thanks,
Josh.
Josh.
So his question is: Do you think Lascelles' time is up now?
Well, I'll go for no.
I think personally, in the starting 11 right now, then yes, similar to how Bruno can't get in the midfield. It's going to take a lot for Lascelles to get back into that centre back partnership.
I always personally try and look at it as a squad. It's a squad game, right?
Yeah.
You've got 25-man squad, and you
We
need,
probably will see him soon.
you know. So yeah, exactly. I think I don't think his time's done in regards to playing for the club, if you like, but certainly in the starting 11, you might not see him for a bit. But you know, you don't know what's going to. All it takes is Burn to get an injury, which of course, touch wood, that doesn't happen. Chris would, and then Lascelles may have to come back in. But I think there's a few players that I don't believe are good enough to maybe start games. But I do think that in the
Still do a
squad,
job.
I think
with Lascelles, I think I was talking about this on Twitter the other night, actually. I think Fernandez is probably closer to the exit than Lascelles
Yeah.
because he hasn't played for. He hasn't played once for Howe, I think. Actually, maybe.
Age isn't on his side
When
either.
he came on
It's
against
not.
Norwich.
It was
Came
Norwich.
on against
He
Norwich
did
with a
all right, I thought,
blinder.
as well.
Yeah.
But
You're still putting that flag, you
know.
yeah, I'm not going to take it off. I'm not
But
gonna take it
It's a shame for Feddy as well
I like
because
him.
he's a good defender.
I like him a lot. I like Freddy, but I think Lascelles is closer to getting a start, even beyond the summer. I think if one of them goes, it's Fernandez, isn't it? Lascelles stops
Probably.
and maybe
But he's out of contract, isn't he?
is he? Well,
How do you think Lascelles would deal with that? Because obviously, if he's not going to be playing, he's not going to be captain then. So that's one thing that's going to go.
It's a strange thing. There's an interview with Shelvey 3-4 weeks ago, maybe, where he says, "We know what's happening. Like, we're not stupid.
Yeah,
we know
that's
that.
true. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Newcastle aren't going to want to like me to play for them forever." Like paraphrasing a bit, you know.
Shelvey's quotes were great, saying that he just wanted to be involved in
The start of it,
project,
yeah,
the
he wanted
start
to
of it.
be.
He's
I
a big
actually
part of
really
it.
was surprised and loved it when he said, "I'm looking forward to coming back.
Mhm.
Like when I'm gone,
Yeah.
to see where the club is now, and I've been part of that. I thought that was actually really."
He's been here a good 6 years now. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
he has,
in fact just gone because of the transfer window. We signed him, and I mean, Shelvey's kind of he has been a big part of what's happened in the last 2 months, results wise, 6 weeks even, maybe less. Weirdly, apologised for his performance this weekend on Twitter, which I thought he was all right.
And I've got to say it, like I think from those words and that action coming from John Joe Shelvey is unreal because
This is what winning games does.
And competition.
because we've talked about his performances in the past, you know, not being good enough and stuff like that, but he really seems to have had an attitude shift as well as a performance shift. And you know, he might have had those thoughts privately in the past, but he would never come out and say something like that. He's even, you know, in the past said he didn't like talking to the press. He didn't like giving interviews and stuff like that. And you're seeing more and more of it from him now. So whether it's an age thing, he's getting a little bit older and a bit more mature and stuff like that. But you know, yes, it wasn't one of his better games than he's had in the last kind of couple of months, but you know, he wasn't terrible.
He wasn't poor. That's a kind of performance that if you'd been putting that in like September, October, you'd be going, John Joe's all right.
I think what you said about putting it in, I think was what I seen because he didn't really have much of the ball. We didn't have much of the ball, and in fairness, if Shelvey hasn't got the ball, that's tended to be where his most criticism comes from. Like when he hasn't got it.
Yeah,
to show.
And there was a moment in the second half where we got a corner. Maybe wants to applaud him. I believe it went straight at the goalkeeper, and he absolutely sprinted to get back.
Yeah.
And actually, some of the fans applauded that, and I was like, "This is what we've seen." And he said on that comment that he's watched the game back twice since then to see his own performance, which is outstanding.
Which I think that'll come from Eddie Howe in his tactical side of things of making them watch the game back, understanding where it's gone right, where it's gone wrong. But it's nice to see that attitude from him because it's something that you could point the finger at him for in the past. Was his attitude quite right? And he's definitely seems to have turned that round. And hey, well done to him. It's nice to see.
So next question is from Tobias, who says, "What do you guys think the safe point total is?" Besty.
I'm just going to have a quick little look now, if you don't mind. Just
What's the third bottom one now, Deka, please? If you can.
I think a lot of
5-0 now, by the way.
I think a lot of the talk that people are talking 32,
55
33
minutes
points,
That's it.
something around there.
I think
like
low,
that.
I think 35. You're probably safe. Are we 28 now?
So right, Burnley are third bottom with 21 points, played 26 games obviously we're currently on 28 points.
So they've got 12 games left. 21 points. Deka, was that? Sorry,
21 points. Yeah.
So they're not going to double that other with 12 games to go.
No chance.
If you look at 12 points, that takes it to 33. So I think 35 keeps you up. Give them a couple of points leeway.
I think to give you an idea, Southampton are currently on 35 and they're sitting 9th.
Yeah.
So I appreciate there's a lot of football. Go on, I'm just saying.
That still shows you how tight that bottom half of that table is.
Well, there's a gap. I think it's from Everton to the 4th bottom or 5th bottom leagues, maybe 4 points. Or the Burnley Everton maybe is 4 points. And then it's
Brentford's the one that gap there.
And then there's a 5-point gap between us and Leicester. I think
Palace as well.
Do you know what it is? You've just mentioned that you've got Brighton, Leicester, Villa, and Palace are all on 33.
Yeah.
All of them are. So you've got from 10th there down to us almost.
Yeah. So it's us in our own and someone else in our own little kind of league at the minute. Everton, if they were, well, they haven't won this one, have they? So
I would probably agree if we could get 2 more wins.
34 points, that would be
34.
I think that's enough to keep you up just, I think. Obviously you don't want to get 34 points and get your
And when you think of the games that are remaining, can we get 2 wins and a draw with them? Yes. I think maybe more, to be fair.
I'm sure I've seen something like if you pick up a point from every one of our games, then you're absolutely...
Well, that's 40 points plus,
fine,
isn't it?
yeah.
I think we've played 36. And we've got 28 points.
That's correct, yeah.
So a point for every game takes it to 40 points.
Aye.
That's it. That's
So next question from Scotty, who does our football manager videos. So if you haven't seen those yet, I love them, I'm not even a fan of...
New one out today?
I'm not a fan of Football Manager, but I love these videos.
Is the one up today the one?
So the new one, which it went out to members yesterday, so it was available for members, and it's gone live this afternoon to everybody else. So subscribers. I haven't watched it yet.
Week 5.
The last one,
Chelsea.
had a heart attack in that Chelsea game.
Unbelievable. Well, both games well, that Chelsea game was something else. Like
it was ridiculous.
Was something else.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I haven't watched this week's yet, but we're still in the cup and we're pushing for Europe in that one. So
out in the cup, like.
we might be out of the cup and we might be relegated by this week because I haven't watched it yet. But
I'm sure it's a
hopefully not.
conversation we had about 6 weeks ago as well, wasn't it? In IRL.
Scotty,
But yeah, if you haven't seen the Football Manager videos, they're around about 20-30 minutes long on there, around about that, and they're great. Like I said, I'm not a big Football Manager fan.
It's weirdly addictive, isn't it?
I know.
It is. They're
So
really
I always
good.
criticize, like with my 2 boys, they're watching YouTube if somebody else play a game. And I'm thinking, what are they watching that for? And I'm sat doing it.
And I do it with Limmy. Now Limmy, the Scottish fella. I do it because I made more to do with him in the game. Like, but it's great, this.
When I was watching the Chelsea when I was telling you, got to make a change here. Make a change. Make a change.
We're fully invested.
It's mental. It is great. But yeah. But Scott says thoughts on Carl Darlow, Kieran Clark, Jamal Lewis, Isaac Hayden, Miguel Almiron, Emil Kraft, Dwight Gale are all set to leave this summer.
Did you see Hayden's quote about? I think it was about the Shelvey statement.
Rolls Royce of a player.
He was quite. He said, "Oh, this is like a difference. And this is like he's Rolls Royce type of player." And it was like, for someone who that we all think is going to be away, and we all knew that he wouldn't. Or we kind of positive that he wouldn't be in the squad for the end of the season because of his injury and stuff. He's still very much part of it. He's invested. I think he's similar to Shelvey, where John Joe said that he's going to hang around or be back in the area after. I think Hayden's got a bit of that about him as well. Like I think he's a big. I like Hayden a lot. Me, like I do. It'd be sad to see him go if he does
Friend
go.
Of the podcast.
Very much so as well. I would be sad to see Isaac because I've always liked him since we signed him. I've always said when we got him, the start of that championship season, I think he's a captain one day. Him like. And I still think he is, but I don't think it's going to be for us.
No.
But I think he's a good, a decent footballer.
He's been solid for in some bad times. When we've been a bad side.
He's not been excellent every game. But the championship season, he was a massive part of that squad for me. Like, coming back up as well. Come back up.
You don't know what his performances would be like coming back in with having that bit of confidence and bit more quality around him within the team.
I think it was quite telling Eddie Howe bigging up Sean Longstaff this week as well. That Sean Longstaff is going to play a part in the next couple of weeks.
He came on for the last 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
You'd think that he's starting a game in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm glad like to see because again, Longstaff's one that
is he because we've got Bruno there.
I think we'll see a lot of change. Like we've just said, we've got 4 games in 2 weeks with these rearranged ones. So it's all it takes is a little niggle, somebody getting a kick or something like that. And
someone is going to win it. Someone is going to get injured. That's just how it works.
So Neil JR, all the way from Wales. I said,
I'm here from him for a while. Where you been?
I meant to text you. We haven't had much of Neil.
I
hope he's all right.
Twitter briefly.
Oh, is he all right? Hope you're all right, Neil.
So he said, what
Lemon
do you
season.
think the future of St James's Park will be expand or move. I think the owners have already came out with the interview with George Houghton saying that we're staying put.
Which I'm
I think that rather, I mean, that doesn't mean that we are going to. That just means that that's what they want to do. I mean, if they try and, because they've said stay put but alter, they get it up to 60,000 or so, 65 maybe.
Yeah.
If they can't do that, if for some reason the council block it, or you've got the National Trust list of buildings on
Leazes
Terrace,
yeah.
you can't really go in the park. Structurally, I don't know what it'd be like going over Gallowgate into the Metro Land.
That land's getting built on already, isn't it? So
bust apparently.
Get on Jamie Rubin. Hell, get on in your pocket.
You've only really got the road to play with, right? Like, there's not much to play with. Like,
you go over the road.
Yeah.
Well,
few like that.
if
That'd
that
be great. That
areas are.
Well, you could just reroute the road around the.
Yeah, just
current
St
metro
James's
there.
Brock St James's Metro off. No one gets off St James's.
I know.
Just walk to here, Mark. You lazy fuckers.
But yeah,
It was for the extension to the West
I certainly
End,
think
that's why they had it there.
I don't believe we'll stay there forever. I will say that. But I think the comment that was given by the owners were very much like for the here and now. Perhaps let's say 4 or 5 years, maybe even 10. That we're not going to leave here. This is what we are. This is our house, if you like.
The thing that worries me about moving is that 52,000. Yes, it's a huge stadium, but that we're so close to the pitch and the atmospheres. What we've been seeing recently are so intimidating and so loud for players. I feel the bigger the stadium you get, the more that you'll lose.
Well, we struggled when it got built at 52. Like it was never the same, in my opinion, for a long time.
Well, it felt until the takeover. But really, I mean, I remember sitting on here saying, "Is it noise getting lost up in the air? Is it just my perception of it because I'm old and I'm more used to it, and it's not as breathtaking as it once was?" And it turns out it was just because we're shit.
I was going to say, I think it's more to do with what was happening on and off the pitch.
The club's direction, wasn't it? Yeah, I think. I'm with Deka. I think short term will not be moving. 15, 20 years time, I don't think will be.
It's whether it's financially viable, is it? You know, how much is it going to cost
if we've got the success
to extend that much?
I hope we're in a position where I don't want to leave by any. That'd be in floods. St James Park's a massive place for me, and more than just structurally. But I think that I almost want the club to be in a position where they think, we need to move because it's not big enough and we can't do anything with.
So apparently, that's correct what we're saying. So apparently, the development company have gone bust, and administration team has to listen to sensible offers.
Well, it's just an absolute no-brainer, then, isn't it? Really.
So I'm just going off comments on there, but it is something which I had read somewhere. So it's probably on Twitter, so it probably is bullshit. Like, but to be fair. All the stuff's there on site, isn't it? All the
I mean, obviously, we work in the other building. I have to be fair.
When was the last time you saw somebody there?
They're there constantly, but they're working on
the next to
Strawberry. No, they're working on the new building, which is separate because that's going to be the home group's new head office.
So you think next to the Metro,
not the same development?
That's never been touched for because I thought
other than storing stuff for that build.
Yes, yeah. So
But just on
just
that,
so happens though, we have 2 investors for development on the team. Like Besty said, the Reuben brothers.
Well, I saw a rumor that
got monies
that the Reuben brothers might
actually
own Leazes Terrace already.
I think that would have been well documented so far if that was true. Surely,
I've seen it mentioned. I think Darryl's mentioned it in the group a couple of times, or maybe it's on Twitter. Darryl Mitchell-Hill about lowering the pitch.
Yeah, that's been an option that's been
moving the pitch sideways as well at some point has been
mentioned. Turning it so that was something to look at.
Rotating at 90 degrees, wasn't it?
Yeah. It would
so rather than Gallic to Leazes, you'd be
Barrack Road.
It would be weird.
Would that go over Barrack Road? It would surely interfere with it.
No, it's because it's the
Milburn
kind of extend
massive,
the back corner of the Milburn stand in the level 7, which is like where the car park in that bit is.
Yeah,
so it wouldn't actually go on to Barrack Road.
So you're saying lowering the pitch to make level 7, level 10,
like they did with the new camp, where they basically sunk it down.
Yeah,
and then
it's a possibility, but bloody hell, like if you're at level 7, then Christ Almighty, you are in heaven there, like. That's high, like, you know what I mean? It's high now.
It is.
To go because if you're going to lower it, you could be seeing.
Apparently, the rumor was that the Saudis own a chunk of Leazes Terrace.
Yeah, I was at the Saudis. I knew it was either the Reubens or the Saudis.
I'd
read that.
Lower it, you wouldn't necessarily have to start from the bottom and work your way up from the pitch level. You still go in the same entrance.
Well, if you think we go upstairs to go
yes,
in
no, I know.
level
I'm just on
anyway,
about your
don't we?
view. All I'm
Over
saying,
the pitch.
your
Yeah,
view.
sorry, yeah.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
kind of,
your
as I
view
was
is
saying that, I
nice.
got it. Like, sorry, mate.
That's,
Right, anything that you boys want to mention just before we wrap this one up? Because I'm ready to go.
You know what it is? I did. Had something this afternoon and I've completely forgot what it was.
Who's
Now.
on the back of your shirt? That's what I was going to ask you. Have you got any on the back of that shirt? I thought you might have Bruno.
On this one?
Dad one.
No, Bruno.
Shagger.
I have got
69.
I've got Bruno on the back of the Bruno on the back
Milf
of the
Hunter
third one.
9.
on the back of the blue one.
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to get Trippier on this one, but I couldn't
I'm
work.
gutted, right? I ordered the blue one because it was an offer. It's still not here 4 weeks later. And I got Bruno.
Saturday
G on
mine
the back
finally
of it.
came. That's what I've got on.
But I'm gutted that I didn't get Joelinton.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I might get one of those ones I
I
mentioned.
want
DHK with
Joelinton
Joelinton.
on mine, but I do want to go and buy that hoodie with Newcastle on. I should have done it after the game and I forgot. So
I want the Castor.
the Castle Newcastle one, yeah. I want to
Right.
buy that.
It's not, but this is the weird thing because it isn't a hoodie, like as in a hoodie.
Well, no,
material. It's like not that.
No, you're right.
That
I went
material,
in.
it's like a shell.
I went in
soft
and
shell.
and I wasn't sure
Weird.
about it actually when I went in. And
Did they do Tainted Love?
Yeah, if they had a list. Shainted love.
Yeah. Any
Sorry.
questions at all? Must be one.
Nah,
more.
we're
Must
done.
be one more.
I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
going. I
annoying us
didn't.
now what I
when
was going to ask and I
when
can't
the-
remember.
Away in third shirts were 30 quid each. I wish I'd picked them up.
That's why I got it. 24 quid.
Oh, you got the.
Amazing photo, yeah.
No, it is.
Well, we're going to beat Southampton, Besty, Thursday.
Oh, draw.
Score
a
draw
draw.
or
Yeah, 2-2.
2-2?
No,
Doesn't-
1-1. Because we don't.
Conceded
1-1.
10.
I don't want to. I don't want to finish that sentence just in case.
Well, spoiler alert. We might be watching it on Thursday.
Well, we'll be watching it.
Well,
but we
we
might be doing a live watch along
I
on
don't think.
Thursday.
I don't think I'll be present because I use my night out tokens on them. I'm going to see the Cribs tomorrow night as well. So I've got no
Bloody
chance.
hell.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, more than a bin, is he?
possibly maybe doing a live watch along.
It's been a while.
Thursday night. It has
been
been
a while.
since lockdown, really. So we might be doing that. We'll also have, for members only, this one, we have a live phone in with Ryan Taylor on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. So if you want to have a chat with Ryan Taylor, just become a member, and that's how you get access to that one.
Do it now. Click that button just down below where it says join channel. Click that.
Yes.
Unless
Do
you're
that.
on your phone or a mobile device, then you'll have to do a weird way.
If you do have troubles
Go in your
getting the
browser.
link working, send either the Smile and Faces podcast Twitter account, a DM, or the Gallowgateshots one. We'll get back to you with the link that does work.
Or me
normally.
directly because I've got the instructions in me DMs.
But yeah,
That's a sneaky way of getting someone to go into DM. Oh, I've got the instructions. Didn't worry about that, Pet.
but we will have Beyond the Lines this week as well, and Extra Time will be this week. We've got loads of stuff. We'll have a match preview. It's tough
They'll be
for
busy,
us,
aren't they?
obviously cramming all this in with it being back-to-back games, 3-4 days
Yeah.
between each other.
Yeah, it's tough.
It gets tough to put as much content out as we would like to do so. But yeah, thanks very much. I think that's we're done.
I've got nothing.
I've got nothing. Thanks, everybody. See you later.
Ian Beale.
Besty's spent.
I've got nothing.